After failing a lie detector test and confessing, Miss Mellerson, the distraught plaintiff, found herself in a complex paternity dispute involving not one, but two potential fathers, Mr. Williams and Mr. Merritt. With one baby at the center of this emotional tug of war, the courtroom was poised for a gripping paternity showdown.
I had met Mr. Williams in 2012, and from there it just began with our relationship.
Your Honor, it was never a relationship.
It was a sexual relationship.
We
First
had
of all,
sex twice, and we
Your
never.
Honor, he is lying because number one, Your Honor, this man right
Your Honor,
here,
for
I
it to
don't
be
know
a
what he's trying to
relationship-
cover up.
It appears that if the baby's mother was involved with two men, the baby's father also had connections with two women. Loyalty seems to be a rare commodity in these situations. To add to the drama, Mr. Williams claimed that he was ghosted by the plaintiff, who had a history of frequently changing her phone number. Talk about some suspicion.
We need to get a test and everything. She said, okay, well, I'll let you know when I have my doctor's appointments. After she mentioned that to me, she didn't even have the same number. I never knew where she lived at.
I continuously
So how was
changed my
I, and
number.
she never called me either. When she called me.
Did you change your number after you told him you were
constantly
pregnant?
I just changed my number again.
Now, here's where the real drama unfolds. Following the ever-changing phone numbers, the baby's mother alleged that she did pay a visit to Mr. Williams with pregnancy documents in hand. Isn't that what this whole paternity doubt revolves around?
I had gave him papers showing him that I was pregnant. When I went to his house, he had this stupid look on his face like, wait a minute, is she really pregnant? Even then, I'm like, if you slept with me, just take it as there is a possibility of you being my child's father.
Timing was indeed a significant factor in this story. Miss Mellerson's actions were anything but consistent, as she apparently waited a lengthy 5 to 6 months before informing Mr. Merritt about the situation. And yet again, the issue of frequently changing phone numbers reared its head. What was the deal with this constant number-changing game?
So 5 or 6 months pregnant, she showed up at the door?
Yeah, man. She said she erased my number.
Here we go with this phone again.
I did not have his number at the time.
But wasn't he your boyfriend?
We had broke up in September 2012. We stopped talking. I lost my license in like October-ish. I got my license back in April of 2012. And that's when I came to him and told him.
The drama was far from over. In fact, it was only heating up. It seemed that the baby's mother held all the cards and wasn't allowing anyone else to have their say. However, that kind of behavior didn't sit well in the courtroom, and the judge's patience was wearing thin.
You know what? It's not time for you to be adding in any other verbiage that's not needed. It's so many men going on and who slept with who. I'm just trying to keep up.
I'm trying to understand
everybody's
I'm trying to slow
story.
down so you can't keep up with me. I'm just trying to slow it down a little bit.
No. You need to slow yourself down.
Next in line, the girlfriend stepped into the spotlight, armed with evidence of her communication with the baby's mother regarding the paternity matter. However, it became evident that the baby's mother had a serious penchant for dishonesty, as her words to the girlfriend did not align with the actual facts. Quite the revelation indeed.
Her first message was, "Do I know you?" And from that point, I let her know, you and I may know the same person, Stacey Williams, that you two may have a baby together, and I don't condone an absent parent. If you need help, I don't mind helping you. This is everything I said to her. But she made a statement that she had a DNA test done and her baby was light-skinned like the daddy.
Finally, we arrive at the pivotal moment of truth, a moment that was eagerly anticipated. The verdict was poised to resolve many pressing questions, with the primary one being whether the baby's mother was a crazy liar or if there was a kernel of truth in her claims. Let's dive in and find out.
You are not the father.
Well, I know who it is.
Miss Mellerson, you could have saved
I'm
us
100%.
all.
Yeah, I'm not coming up here trying to,
And basically what you're saying,
I did not
process
know.
of elimination, you really didn't know, and now that these two are
I
ruled
know
out.
100%.
In the courtroom of paternity court, we meet Miss Lopez and Mr. Carbajal, who are embroiled in a paternity dispute. Go figure. Lopez accuses Carbajal of trying to deny paternity using a dubious DNA testing scam. Oh boy, where have we come to? In the opening statements, Ms. Lopez explains her struggle as a single mother. Probably something that might make you want to cry.
You're having sex.
Yes, Your Honor.
Unprotected sex. How do we get to the point where you find out you're pregnant and there's a question regarding the paternity?
Your Honor, I found out I was pregnant. He did not have anything to say. We talked later, and he was still in shock, telling me that he didn't want to have a baby with someone he did not love.
All right, I think I might be getting to understand this. But hey, the dispute started when Miss Lopez became pregnant. Mr. Carbajal seemed unenthusiastic and claimed he didn't want a child with someone he didn't love. What logic is that? Suspicion arose when Miss Lopez showed a picture of another man who resembled their daughter.
Growing up, I did not have a father, and I did not want my daughter growing up without a father.
Wasn't
It
that my
hurts me to
problem?
know that she does not have him around. He says he's the father. He even has her name tattooed on his arm. He was there a
You have
week.
her name
Yes, I do,
tattooed
Your
on your
Honor.
arm?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Even though you doubt it?
When she was first born, I was attached to her.
But there's no convincing Mr. Carbajal. He believes there might be another man involved because of the look-alike photo. However, Miss Lopez adamantly insists that Aliana is his daughter and emphasizes her desire for her child to have a father figure in her life. You should have been careful, ma'am.
They didn't look nothing like us. My mom and my dad were saying
Your daughter did look
that
like you.
they had nothing related to us.
All
I've
right,
seen
so
pictures
these
out
are the doubts as it relates to Aliana. Let me understand the doubts as it relates to Noah.
She didn't let me sign his birth certificate. I didn't even sign his birth certificate. Why wouldn't she let me? She's saying I'm the father. Why couldn't I sign a birth certificate?
Because you weren't there from the beginning.
If you can't get enough of this, oh, just hold on. Their second child, Noah, was also under scrutiny. Mr. Carbajal questions why he wasn't allowed to sign Noah's birth certificate if he's the father. Miss Lopez claims he was absent from the beginning and wouldn't commit to being a father. How about the granny tags in with her 2 cents?
When he was first born, like she didn't let me sign his birth certificate. I didn't even. Why couldn't I sign a birth certificate?
Because you weren't there from the beginning.
I was there.
I was there when they both were born.
Hold on, let's get some
Not
order.
there.
Miss Avila, they're saying they were at the hospital. You say they weren't?
I was there when Aliana was born.
The discussion moves towards a dubious at-home DNA test that Miss Lopez claims Mr. Carbajal performed. The home test raises questions due to the lack of proper identification, and Miss Lopez questions its legitimacy. Well, Mr. Carbajal, if that was indeed fake, you do have creative ways of avoiding responsibilities.
In the paperwork, do you have to include photo ID?
No, nothing like that.
No ID?
No.
So no ID to identify which
All we gotta do is
kids,
swabbing or just put the name of the father and
and
the kids.
you write that name
Yeah.
in.
The names are wrong on there. My daughter's name is spelled wrong.
It was the
I
kids.
do not know if
it was the kids.
Despite the confusion around the home DNA test, Judge Lake decides to pull the curtain off with a new laboratory-conducted DNA test for more reliable results. Oh man, and this time around, it's gonna be all true. Let's see what happens.
Mr. Carbajal, you are not her father.
My mom wouldn't have spent so much money on those tests to
We
be
spend a
swabbing
lot of
other
money.
people.
We spend a
other
lot of
kids.
money to do those tests.
You guys should have still told us what you were
No, you
going
think we
to
were
do.
gonna tell you? Think you guys were gonna let us do it?
Okay, so now we know who's been lying here. And that's just sad. Come on, Miss Lopez, you could have been more truthful. Also, if this result wasn't positive, well then we have another child waiting in the line to find out his fate.
Mr. Carbajal, you are not Noah's
Thank you,
father.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What do you gotta say? What do you gotta say for yourself? Huh? Why you been lying to me that they're my kids when they're not?
And you know my
Who you
mom
been
got really
sleeping with?
attached to them. You know how much that's gonna hurt my mom?
Yes, I do.
You might be planning to watch a movie this Sunday night, but there comes the paternity call that drags you to court. Oh boy, something similar happened with Mr. Bell, as Miss Cousin claims he's the father of her 7-month-old child. Yeah, drama, right? Facts check time. They're all fed up with Mr. Bell's lies.
I'm fed up with his lies because he a two-time liar. He told my daughter
This
that
you
he
want-
was
about you want a
single,
baby, though.
that he was not in a relationship.
Why you can't-
I know he was in
Let
a
her
relationship
talk, man.
with
Let
her
her talk.
because I seen his picture on her phone. When she started
Who is it
being
about?
with him, I seen how her attitude changed.
Who last sleep
I
with,
knew
you or her?
then that she was pregnant.
Now, Mr. Bell is over there denying being the father of Taquan, and he's gone to the extreme by blocking all contact with Miss Cousin. Classic move, right? Oh, and he's also claiming that she's just trying to bust up his 6-year relationship. trust issues much?
What was the nature of the relationship in your mind?
We met at work. I only seen her outside of work maybe twice. We was never together because I had to go home to her. I was staying with her and my kid.
Were you flirting with her at work?
Yeah. But
Were you asking her what she's eating for lunch and buy you some too?
no.
Well, Miss Cousins and her mother weren't buying Mr. Bell's story. They say he's a two-timing liar, and he had their daughter thinking he was in a relationship with her while he was actually in a relationship with someone else. Smooth, Mr. Bell, real smooth.
They're claiming that this was going on. This was an ongoing relationship. That's not true?
No.
Yes, it is true, Your Honor.
Destiny, I see the tears in your eyes. What are you feeling right now?
Because he lied. No, he lied. Why would you lie on me for no reason?
Because he felt your weakness. That's what he felt.
Oh, and Miss Destiny, the daughter, well, she's backing up her mom. She met Mr. Bell at work, and he told her he wasn't with anyone. But she claims they had an ongoing relationship, and Mr. Bell had the nerve to let her buy him food and pay his phone bill. Talk about a free ride.
Why do you doubt?
When she got pregnant, I found out she was pregnant through a manager at the job. He called me in the office and told me she was pregnant. And I told him the same thing I'm telling her. It's not mine.
Why you lying?
Destiny, how did it go?
When I came home, I called him. I said, I'm pregnant. He said, oh, well, call me back. Let me know what you gonna do. And that was it, and he hung up the phone.
Fast forward, Miss Destiny gets pregnant, and Mr. Bell starts distancing himself, saying he's not the father. He even claims she told her manager at work that the baby isn't his. More lies or just a misunderstanding? You decide.
Mr. Bell, you said that she didn't tell you, she told the manager and the manager told you.
Yes. And once I went to her and told her that it's not mine, the first thing, I don't want no baby by you anyway.
I don't want a baby by you anyway is different from the baby is not yours. Which did she say?
Both.
Why you lying?
Mr. Bell, oh, he's not done with the lies. He says he only slept with Destiny once in a car, and Destiny's mom ain't buying it. She claims they've slept together 3 times unprotected. Ouch! And Mr. Bell's girlfriend, Miss King, oh, she chimes in with her side of the story, making things even messier.
I was pregnant with our second daughter. I guess you could say a mutual friend happened to recognize Cortez on her page, like for his pictures and stuff like that. And he asked if Cortez and I were still together. He gave me her name or whatever. I searched for her on Instagram. Of course I'm gonna search. I see Cortez is her profile picture, and I see her bio. She's like, oh, I love him. That's the one for me and stuff like that.
Well, Mr. Bell, you do have a lot going on in here. And the only sentence that we've heard from the plaintiff's mouth was, why have you been lying? So now it was time for the paternity police to catch whether you've been lying or not. Here are the DNA results.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Bell, you are the father.
Thank you, Lord Jesus.
I'll take my child support papers in the mail.
You've been chirping off all day.
All day.
You could not let them get a sentence out without downplaying everything they said. Everything.
In a complex situation where the supposed father of a newborn had passed away, having previously expressed doubts about the child's paternity, Miss Hooker found herself in paternity court, seeking resolution with the late father's mother, Miss Baker, and his sister.
I'm just sad sometimes. I try to deal with it now. Like, I really don't care no more. That's how I feel. I don't care anymore. I don't care who feel nothing about my baby. I don't care. It just seemed like everybody else looking upside my head like I'm an animal or something. Like, every time I'm sitting down doing something, they looking at me like I'm just outcast of the group. She looked like me, so why is the problem? That's why I just say I don't care about nothing.
Clearly, the mother of the baby was visibly distressed. However, the fundamental question remains, as Miss Baker's adamant denial of her son's paternity seemed to be an unshakable belief within the alleged baby daddy's family. Tensions might escalate from here on out.
We kept hearing that Denia was pregnant, but then when we finally found out for sure, he told me, he said he wasn't the only boy that had messed with Denia. And he made me promise that we was gonna get a blood test, and things didn't go the way we thought they were gonna go.
Surprisingly, there's another man in the picture. Miss Baker revealed to the courtroom that this other man had informed the alleged baby daddy that when he wasn't present, she was involved with him romantically. This revelation leaves us with many questions. Let's hear what Ms. Hooker has to say about this twist in the story.
Keyshawn only denied the baby when him and my daughter was arguing. Other than that, I have pictures with him laying on her stomach. He had doubts only when he was angry. And I cannot get mad at what he tell his mother or nothing like that. But when he came over there with us, he held the baby, kissed the baby, and loved the baby.
Now, Ms. Hooker seemed more indifferent than a teenager rolling her eyes at a family dinner. However, Ms. Coates discusses the situation at Ms. Hooker's house, addressing misunderstandings and personal emotions. She learned about Ms. Hooker's pregnancy through her daughter and granddaughter, who rode the same school bus. Ah! Those good old school bus rides.
They're saying in their circle of kids, they talk,
The boy was telling him that, when you were away, I was messing with her. He was unsure to the point of where he was worried,
scared.
He was scared. He lost so much weight. He lost a whole lot of weight. Like I told him, you played grown, now it's time to be grown.
Oh, please just don't delve into that territory, miss. Just like that, you could unintentionally spark a major conflict. Nevertheless, the situation appears to be filled with emotional intensity, with the supposed grandmother primarily focused on her late son's commitment.
I don't want no sorries from nobody. Keep your sorries. I don't want no sorry.
I'm not giving you a sorry.
Okay? I'm not asking you to.
Shut up. Hold on.
I don't care.
Hold on.
She can say something to me because I'm a child. I'm gonna keep talking to her because she thinks she's hard and I will punch her in her face. I don't care.
Oh, no.
I've been waiting for her already.
No.
Isn't that a significant concern, Jerome? Hey there, Jerome, where are you, my man? We certainly don't want a one-punch man scenario in this situation. Let's keep in mind, Ms. Hooker, that we're not in the world of WWE, but rather in a courtroom. So to avoid any unnecessary conflicts, how about we shift our focus to the DNA results?
Mr. Abraham and Kenaya Abraham is 0%. And this, Ms. Baker, are you all right? Do you need to sit down? Do you need to sit down, ma'am?
They weren't gonna tell me sorry, so I'm not telling them nothing.
As it turns out, the other man's claim is accurate. Ms. Hooker, it seems you should feel remorse and offer an apology to the mourning mother. Yet deep down, she did precisely what we had all anticipated from her ever since the sarcastic laugh and eye roll. Take a glance at her reaction. Caution is advised. Things might escalate.
You owe my mom an apology, though. That's when you owe one.
No, excuse me.
Because you know you slept with somebody else.
Miss Hooker.
Miss Hooker.
No.
Hey, go in there. You do too much.